Happy Independence Day.
I wish you the same.
Yeah.
And I say we have to celebrate.
Yeah.
Definitely, we have every reason,
61
every cause to
years
celebrate, sure.
of political independence. We thank God for supporting us and upholding us as a nation as we look forward to a brighter future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better days ahead.
All right, now, you heard there's a very long one there with stress on emphasis on some and lesser emphasis on others. Now, would you give us your dispassionate assessment of the speech?
You know, I think the president addressed the issue of COVID-19 management. And of course, he addressed the United Nations General Assembly in New York in that respect. And we must thank God that the expectations of some persons in the global environment about the experience of Nigeria did not come to pass, because it was envisaged that people would die massively. And the government has tried. It's just that we need to do more. And the president mentioned the fact that right now we need to invest in vaccines, supporting the pharmaceutical industry. And I think that is the way to go. We should, at this age in time, begin to rely less on the global community, because he himself mentioned the global inequity in the administration of the vaccines. And I believe that God has blessed us so much in Nigeria in terms of natural resources, human resources, to begin to give back to the world. And then he also made reference to the economy, how the economy is recovering from the economic recession. But you see, while we make claims to the recovery in the theoretical aspect, we need to visit the reality. Though he also tried to speak in that direction, telling us that the government is making a frantic effort in ensuring food security. But if you go out to the market right now, the food inflation stands at over 22%. It's quite excruciating, you know, that a bag of rice imported is 35,000 naira. It was 7,000 in 2015. And I understand a bag of beans is almost 85,000 naira. And you don't want to, and he also addressed the oil and gas sector of the country, how a modular refinery has been commissioned. We expect to have more in Bayelsa, in Edo, how a mega refinery is coming up in Lagos. And, you know, those are things we look forward to. But right now, as we speak, it does not portray a good picture of responsible governance when we have 4 refineries that are moribund and yet gulping so much from our lean resources. Recall that the first refinery in Nigeria was constructed between 1962 and 1965 by Shell BP, and we have done more. And we have the crude oil. So when you if you want to be grateful to God, you say, God, thank you for the crude oil. We will impress you by maximizing it. So there is nothing we have to justify the fact that our refineries are not functioning. I was doing a comparison research, and it will amaze you to realize that the UAE, United Arab Emirates, discovered oil in 1958. And right now, that is a wealth magnet. The big brands in the world must do business in that region, because according to Sheikh Zayed, the founding father of the modern UAE, the man said that wealth is not money, but developing people. So they have developed massive infrastructure. They have created the economic hub to attract wealth into that region. And right now you can claim that the region is an autopilot of prosperity. And the president also mentioned infrastructure, and he acknowledged the gap we still have. And it amazes us that, having claimed to have spent so much in massive infrastructure, right now the nation is threatened with an impending fuel scarcity, because many trucks are held down in some bad portions of the roads across the country. And shockingly for me too, while monitoring that trajectory, I heard that some of the trucks are held down in Maradi. Maradi is in the Niger Republic. And so, you know, and by extension, we've been asking the big question: what is the interest in Nigeria, in Niger Republic, when we suffer so much here and Niger Republic appears to be gaining so much, constructing a railway line there? And I hope Nigerians know that there's a refinery between the border of Katsina and Niger Republic, that electricity has been fixed, that Niger Republic produces more oil than needed. And Nigeria is to buy, I think, about 10,000 barrels of Niger Republic. So there are several things we need to pull together as we turn 61 to look back and ask a simple question. If Nigeria were to be a father, will you be celebrating at age 61?
A big question there for every Nigerian,
all
no
the
doubt.
challenges around us.
Sure. All right, now we'll be taking a break. When we come back, of course, we have a lot more to talk about. So stick there.
Many thanks for staying with us. This is still iBrand Daybreak, and it's our Independence Special Edition. Now, compared with other developing countries and others marking the national days this month, like China, Cyprus, Croatia, Germany, and Austria, what can we say is the state of our beloved nation? From politics to economy, security, education, healthcare, and infrastructure. We still have legal practitioner Jide Ologu in the studio with us. Before the break, you asked a big question. You said, if Nigeria were to be a father, would it be celebrating at age 61? Now, the governor of Rivers State, Governor Nyesom Wike, said there's nothing to celebrate about the 61st independence anniversary of Nigeria. And when you came into the show, you said we have every cause to celebrate. So what would you say is really the state of the nation, cuts across all these sectors I mentioned?
Without being absolute, I know we have crisis in the land, but there is hope. I like to make reference to Rwanda. Rwanda was in a war situation. Then a transformational leader emerged that changed the direction of leadership, because the leadership has a key role to play in all this. And today, Rwanda is one of the fastest growing economies in the world. Rwanda delivers medical materials by drone. Rwanda children have access to the internet, you know, the things you can boast of the global environment, and they have drawn foreign direct investment. Arsenal has gone to sign deal there. The tourism business is booming so well. Then the country made about $400 million from people coming to watch gorilla in 2018. So great things are happening. And you look at Tanzania also. John Magufuli, who has always been part of the system, had the opportunity of becoming a leader, and he brought transformation before he passed on. That's a female president too that is carrying on that mandate. So when we look at the fact that we have hope, we should celebrate. And again, I'm so happy and I congratulate Nigerians. There were issues some Nigerians were afraid to confront in the past. No, it's a no-go area. Our unity. But these issues are on the front burner now. We are talking about them. Governors are interested. Preachers are interested. Peasants are interested. Even the people in government are interested. You talk about insecurity. You talk about the state of the economy. You know, so I think if you want to address this in marketing, you talk about product life cycle. A product that is doing well in the market, like Nigeria started doing very well when we became a republic in 1963. You know, you get to the point of saturation where you either ascend or decline. And at that point, you do a lot of promotion. So Nigeria is at that stage now that we have to bring in a lot of promotions, engage in a lot of things. All the agitations, secessionist tendencies going on are directed at reshaping the future of this country. And of course, we have a lot of pains to go through, but we just hope that some leaders will be wise enough to be recorded on the golden side of history that, okay, we have brought the positive change. And I think on that note, I want to emotionally connect with Governor Wike, who feels that there is nothing, but I will not be absolute. We still have a lot to celebrate because the conversation is ongoing.
Oh, sure. All right, now, the vision of our forefathers, founding fathers, is clearly spelled out in our national motto, which is unity and faith, peace and progress. The question now is, how united is Nigeria? And how would you assess the performance or efforts of the present administration in fostering unity among the different tribes and ethnicities that make up Nigeria?
I will score this present government 25%.
25.
And I think that is generous. And
Wow.
that is a hot meal on the table right now, not just for Nigerians, but for the world. Because we found ourselves in a situation where ethnicity is almost taking over. I mean, I read some news items. When it started, we were denying, suspected herdsmen. Now it's admitted, herdsmen just killed 35. Boko Haram killed soldiers. And you see the interest of a particular ethnic group being pushed. But Chief Olusegun Obasanjo opened the lead that there is a Fulanization agenda of Nigeria, and we are groaning under that. So we can see elements of nepotism in the land without denying the fact, because if you want to solve your problems, you must connect with your problems. So when it comes to unity, last year, by the grace of God, I was in this studio talking about Nigeria celebrating unity. By now, we should be celebrating prosperity. What do you benefit from unity? Amos chapter 3 verse 3. Amos 3:3 says, can two walk together except they be agreed? So it is the absence of unity that is creating poverty in the country, because it does not make sense that you are trying to promote a business and destroying other businesses. You see, so what you need to do is to collaborate. So we need to do more in that area. And that is why we have agitations. And if you go into history, these agitations were limited to some exclusive regions. But right now, it's almost engulfing the nation, with all the people saying, no, we have to go our different ways. Even those who used to align with the North before, Middle Belt, is now saying no. Why? Because of the insecurity in the land, people being killed, their lands being taken over. And again, talk about unity. The federal structure is to defend the motto of Nigeria. Unity, faith, peace, and progress. But when governors come up with laws to regulate their environment, to secure their people, and for instance, the Attorney General of the Federation rises up to say, no, that is unconstitutional, you must be worried. We need nationalistic leaders. And right now, even when that's not our discussion for today, but I just want to set an agenda. Right now, Kaduna State is going through the trenches, and they are coming up with laws that will deal with the use of motorbikes, deal with the use of tricycles, deal with how businesses are operated. And the implication is that some who will be affected will begin to move to other parts of the country. So governors should not go to bed now, because you may wake up with strangers in your environment. You can see the kidnapping going on in Lagos State. And so we need to deliver this country. So, and without unity, there cannot be faith. What is faith? Faith means I believe in this project. How many are saying, we don't believe in Project Nigeria anymore? Let's go. Let there be restructuring. Let's go and manage our resources. And you look at policy statements, policy decisions. For example, the president mentioned the Petroleum Industry Act. Brilliance, I commend it after many years. But how do you justify 3% to host communities and 13% to frontier communities? And for scholastic purpose, frontier communities are communities where you are still prospecting for oil. It's not as if you have found oil. So 30% for that, and 3% for the host community. And we come up to argue that, the 3% is so much. No, that is against equity. I mentioned Rwanda. Do you know what Paul Kagame did.
Kagame, yeah.
The community that hosts the gorillas, they are part of the project. They share from the profit. They do naming ceremonies. It's a celebration. So they secure that aspect of governance. So we need to talk about that. Then we talk about insecurity. I've said it. We need to show the world that we have passed at the primary level before we even start considering the secondary level.
All right.
Section 14 subsection 2 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended says that the security and the welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. My second question this morning, how well have we done in securing the people, in providing welfare for the people at the primary level? We are not even talking about industrialization. We are not talking about moving to the next level. You see, in line with the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. So we still have a lot to do, but there is hope.
All right. Now, talking about security, you just mentioned the president in the speech this morning also mentioned this Section 14, subsection 2 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. And in his statement, he said, to support the surge approach in fighting banditry, the Nigerian Armed Forces have recruited 17,000 personnel across all ranks. And also approved for the Nigerian Police to recruit 10,000 police officers annually for the next 6 years. Now, the question is it really about recruiting more personnel into our security agencies or setting methods in place? Because we could have a lot of security personnel, but really the fight against banditry will still be at the lowest level. So what do you think about that statement?
I commend this effort. It's good that you reinforce your HR, but the infrastructure is not as important as the superstructure. So what are they to carry out? I cannot tell you the last time I got my vehicle particulars checked by the police. What happens, and this is my personal experience, is that we just exchange, banters. Oh, guy, how you doing now? Your boys, they here, you know. You know what I mean? So, and I'm speaking to the global community now. Travel between Shagamu Interchange and Benin City. So you ask yourself that these personnel, are they really for security?
Yeah.
The 10,000 that the president is saying we will recruit
Police officers
to deal with banditry. Bandits that are killing soldiers. 25 soldiers, 34, overrunning military base. You want police to go and face them. We need to get serious. I am disturbed. We need to get bandits that brought down fighter jet. Mr. Nat, my sister, a fighter jet is configured to move at a higher speed, faster speed than the regular aircraft.
Sure.
And bandits have the resources within a nation, a sovereign nation, to bring down fighter jets. Bandits desecrated Nigerian Defense Academy. We are in trouble. But hope is not lost. And now the perception, I'm going to public relations now. The perception is that this government is supporting banditry. Sheikh Gumi said the government, they know where they are. United Arab Emirates is not a direct victim of Boko Haram. Yet they identified sponsors of Boko Haram, convicted them after prosecuting them. How many have we prosecuted? The Attorney General of the Federation was telling us the government has identified about 400 sponsors of Boko Haram, and they are not willing to name them, but that they will prosecute them. When will you prosecute them? Can you see what is going on in the southeast? So I am yet to be persuaded that this government is not condoning crime against the land. And purposely, in international diplomacy, we have refused to name them bandits. They are not terrorists. Even though we claim when we want to justify some of the actions of government that we have a war. For example, when some thousands of Boko Haram members were repenting and the government said, yes, it's necessary we do this because we are in a war. But you are denying war. This banditry, now they call it banditry. I know Boko Haram started around 2002 in the northeastern part of the country by one Mohammed Yusuf, who started propagating jihadist agenda and indoctrinating young ones. And it went haywire in 2009. He was taken out in 2009. And today here we are. Almost all the parts of the country are groaning under kidnapping, banditry, different kinds of crime. And now, let's go to Afghanistan. Most recently, the Taliban took over Afghanistan after about 20 years of battle. And Muhammad Omar, who started the Taliban, there's the concept of Talib in Afghanistan. The same template he adopted is what Muhammad Yusuf has adopted. Even though you have taken up Muhammad Yusuf, his son, al-Bamawi, that the government reported has been killed, but where is the corpse? We have also heard that Shekau, who has been killed about 6 times, has been killed. So some Nigerians find it difficult to believe that this government is not interested in banditry. We are even talking about physical insecurity. What about economic banditry? A client of mine paid the import duties, the clearing charges for his goods at the port in Lagos here in November. Those goods did not come out until July or August. Wow. We read the report. Land borders shut. I entered some supermarkets around the Keja. I felt like weeping. Dollar is 560 naira now. We're in trouble. But I've said it. Alhaji Shehu Shagari was the president of Nigeria in the Second Republic from 1979 to 1983. It was a coup that removed him 31st of December 1983 that brought in our present president then. You know, and everything that happened under that regime are factored under his leadership. So whether we argue that it's the people around President Buhari or whoever, right now, if you chronicle the characteristics of this government, you talk about Nigeria being the capital of poverty, you talk about uncontrollable inflation, you talk about skyrocketing price of electricity, you talk about different kind of things, and there is a difference in public relations between image and reputation. Image is the mind picture you want to paint about your brand. Reputation is how this brand operates. What do you know this brand for? So what is Nigeria known for now?
Okay, now still talking about insecurity in the country. Recently, the Senate came up with this clarion call to the federal government, the president actually, to declare the bandits terrorists and wage an all-out war against them. Wouldn't you see this move as being really realistic and genuine?
It's realistic but lame.
No.
Could you explain?
And I use that word lame with all due respect. What we learned in school is that there are 3 arms of government: the executive, the legislative, and the judiciary. The legislative arm has the power of impeachment. If what is happening in Nigeria is not strong enough to engage that privilege, I don't know what we are waiting for. I've always had it. Oh, make sure bandits are wiped out. I will not tolerate this. Bandits cannot be dictating to the nation, and people are being killed on a daily basis. What are they waiting for? We read the news. I was pained when the son of Senator Nala, a pilot, was killed. You know what it costs to train a pilot? What are we waiting for, Nigeria? Is it when a governor will leave home and will not get to the office because bandits have killed him on the way? What are we waiting for? So I congratulate you, senators and House of Reps members. Enjoy your bogus salaries. But you are coming out of that place. You will come back to your constituencies. Yes. You will come back. So what Nigeria are you helping to create? Are you defending the spirit of the Constitution? Great Nigerians and those who love this country, please spare me your data. Read section 14 to section 18 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended. I keep saying that if we have implemented the prescriptions there, 60%, Nigeria will be the third richest country in this world. Read section 18 subsection 1, for example. It says that this government shall provide affordable education to all. What is the state of education in Nigeria now? Boko Haram is winning. How many schools are open in the north? Structures that support businesses are now being shut down. Telecoms facilities. So we are now taking photographs with bandits, making advocacy for bandits. You see, as if bandits now manage Nigeria. But it's just for a season. It's only God that will not step out of office. Man will step out of office, whether you are good or you are not. But some of us think that at age 61, we should have more to celebrate. I think I've said it here. The UAE discovered oil in 1958. Singapore left Malaysia out of frustration in 1965 as a coastal region with little resources. Singapore is one of the best countries to live and to work in the world today. Ghana attracted the highest foreign direct investment in West Africa in the first quarter of 2020. Even with COVID-19, you are aware Toyota is there.
Moved from Nigeria.
With the special no visa arrangement with the United States. You are aware that Twitter, we have banned Twitters and we have lost billions of naira. Let me shock you. There is a report that some elites smuggle gold out of Nigeria with private jets worth about $9 billion. And the president has gone to the National Assembly to ask for leave to borrow $4.5 billion, part of which will be spent on constructing railway line to Maradi, Niger Republic. Does it make any economic or governance sense that you have resources that can earn you money and you go borrowing? Proverbs chapter 22 verse 7. Proverbs 22 verse 7 says that the rich rule over the poor and the borrower is a slave to the lender. By March 2015, the total indebtedness of Nigeria was about 12.12 trillion naira. Today, it's about 33 trillion naira.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Nigeria.
In all of these, does the National Assembly have a fault in it? Because still in the words of the River State Governor, he said the National Assembly has continued to approve anything or majority of the things the President has sent it without considering if it's detrimental or in the interest of the nation.
I think that's a function of integrity on the part of the Senate President. He promised the President that whatever you bring, we support. So he's just walking his talk. But I have raised a caution here. National Assembly is nobody's home. You will leave one day. It's either you are tired of being re-elected or somehow you come back home. And when your constituencies have been taken over by strangers, bandits, kidnappers, I don't know where you want to go. Though I read a report today about the trillions of naira that we spend on sponsoring our children abroad, despite the huge budget for education. Maybe they now relocate abroad. Who will now take over Nigeria? Who will now take over Nigeria? So the interest of some of us, by the grace of God, I'm approaching 60. I'm not as old as Nigeria, but at least I'm above 55. So I can say God has blessed me. So we are not saying this because we have any grudge against anybody. But there is a picture. You see, when you have traveled out of this country and you are comfortable with how the country is, something must be wrong with you. I mean, for being just to the mandate of God, how dare a president of a nation, and I say this with all due respect, leave that country for medical care in another country? Even if you are not considering the security aspect of it, because they have your data and everything. I mean, you just keep, you keep wondering, what exactly is going on? Do you know that reportedly, we spent about $500 million acquiring the 6 Tucano jets? So it's insurgency and industry.
Yeah.
Where are the textile industries? Where are the industries that can provide employment for the people? The unemployment rate, I think, is around 33% now. Food inflation is about 22%.
But security is crucial. Without security, nobody will be there to talk about industries and all these other. Security should be foremost in our thoughts, in championing peace and development in the country.
Sure that as we are here in this studio, you did not leave your room door open. Did you?
Of course I didn't.
That is security. It's not about the knowledge. It's about what you do. It's a deliberate thing. But recently, my president said that only God can secure the border of Nigeria and Niger Republic. So, and when man pushes what he can do and is mandated to do to God, many other nations are praying to God. I asked a question here. Imagine a father. You have 5 children. All right? 3 are doing so well. And some are giving you problems. Who will you listen to first? Maybe God is busy with nations that are maximizing his resources. My great country has the largest deposit of proven gas in Africa. Do you know there's a report, a 2020 report, that we fled, you know the meaning of fled, burn away gas. We fled enough gas to provide electricity for 841 citizens. So God created cotton, but man created the dress I'm wearing. So God has blessed Nigeria. He has blessed us abundantly. We are just appealing to the leaders. Now, why don't you get registered like Joseph? If you read Genesis chapter 41, you know, Genesis 41, Joseph was having a dialogue with the king. There was impending famine coming. And Joseph said, no big deal. This is what we do. Let's save in times of plenty so that when the famine comes, we overrun the famine. And if you read between verse 39 and 41, the king said, you are the prime minister. We handled, and Joseph did just that. And Egypt fed the world of that time. They escaped. So if God could bring that to a king who was not even born again, you know, I'm talking as a Christian now. Is it? So for those who allow God, they prosper. What Nigeria deserves is prosperity. It's sickening that on our 61st independence anniversary, we are talking about unity that has even eluded us. And I'm not surprised. They say if the foundation be faulty, what can the righteous do? Do you know that the 1953 Kano riot was caused by disunity? In the Southern Parliament, Chief Anthony Enhauru moved the motion for immediate independence from the colonialists. The northern stakeholders said no, they were not ready. And on a journey to the north to try and persuade, the riot broke out, I think May 1, 1953, killing each other. And today, we still cannot agree.
All right. Briefly, before we wrap up, in Nigeria, is it purely a leadership problem, or the followers are competent, they are part of it as well? Like, should we be looking at structures and systems, not individuals? And by that, we are building great structures and not strong men.
Excellent. I love that. You see, people have tried to blame followers. But let me ask a simple question. Can any governor, any minister in Nigeria come out to tell us that on arriving Gatwick Airport in the UK, you ordered for siren to take you to your hotel? or you jump the queue. It's system. System. I traveled to Dubai from London with my wife. We were on vacation. We got to the airport in Dubai. They have no business with your thumbprints. They capture your eyeballs. So anytime you come into that environment, your phone is linked to your security data. I was at the border of Canada. They just asked me a few questions, went on their system, looked at me, and asked a simple question. What aspect of law do you practice? And they said, okay, go in. System. A system that is telling us that sponsors of Boko Haram identified will not be named. It's a faulty system. And that's why people are calling for restructuring. Because it matters the people who drive the structures. You may have the best of structures. If you don't have people who are responsible to the nation first, driving the process, you'll be in crisis. Okay. Why should we, and I'm saying this out of passion, why should we go to Egypt and say immigrants are welcome to Nigeria, visa on arrival, when it's even difficult for lawyers, for doctors to get visas to travel abroad because they need highly skilled immigrants? So structurally, systematically, we have a lot of faulty things that we have embraced. And that is what the restructuring is talking about.
It's all about.
But let's sit down. If this alliance cannot work, we are not quarreling.
Yeah.
Every part of this nation is blessed. And I quite appreciate the statement of the governor of Katsina State, Masari, that says that without the North, Rivers and Lagos are nothing. I agree. You people are so powerful. Then leave Rivers and Lagos alone.
All right.
You know what I mean? So leave us in our powerless state. Let's manage what we have. And so when we get into trouble, we run to you. I ask this simple question. Who are the founding fathers of banditry in Nigeria? Let's be sincere.
Thank you.
So many issues to be addressed, no doubt about it.
All the same, congratulations, Nigeria. We are 61.
There.
It's an ongoing project.
Yeah,
and
sure.
The future will be brighter. God never ends in negative.
Never. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much.
But before we let you go, we've spoken so much, talking about the issues and all that. You can't leave here without your parting shot.
God bless Nigeria.
Yeah. God bless it.
And let us do the right thing. You see, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo went to Lee Kuan Yew, the founding father of Singapore, the modern Singapore, who translated Singapore from third world to first world. And I said, Lee, what did you do? And the man said, we decided to do the right thing and will continue to do the right thing. So our leaders should go to Saudi Arabia, ask them what they are doing. Go to Joe Biden, ask them how they have been able to provide 24/7 electricity. All nations have their challenges, but ours are rudimentary. We need to step up,
Right.
you know.
Thank you so very much.
So much.